month ago, I learned about an ancient torture method called the choke pear, where it was basically a butt plug, but instead it expanded inside of you and stretched over your body.
Looking on songs, making people's dreams. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. We've done a lot on dreams lately. We've created dreamt up meals, dreamt up sports, dreamt up fashion, plus, you know, I'm a horrible singer. I'll give you $2. Fell asleep last night watching an Aussie veterinary show. I dreamed I wrote a song called Bad. That included the lyrics. Watch out in Australia. Some bats there live alien. I dreamed that there was one of those cheerful ukulele songs called Somewhere a Snail Wants to Fly. There was a hit country song about a chicken couple who decided they'd had enough kids and were going to spend their twilight years cuddling on the special pillow they'd been using for laying and brooding. The name and chorus of the song was It's That Home on the Pillow Where We Won't Lay Down. I had a dream and don't remember anything from it except hearing a big band-style song that went, here is a day. It's called the Wrigley. Do it if your feet feel wiggly. I'm dealing with a hardcore restless leg syndrome flare. Heard this song being chanted in a dream months ago. Finally decided to transcribe it. The Evil Monkey song. We are monkeys from a monkey. If you are not a monkey, we'll do something to you. Had a dream in which the song This Is How We Do It was included, except that the lyrics were changed, so it was about a guy arguing with his insurance company and singing with a thick but unidentifiable accent. This car also damaged. I dreamed that Rolf from the Muppets released a song to the tune of You Got a Friend in Me called You Got That Dog in You. But the lyrics very clearly had sexual connotations. I had a dream about a song sung to tune Champagne Supernova, but it featured the line, She's saying bacon in her mind. Face with spiral eyes emoji, bacon emoji. Had a dream that Queen reunited, and they released just one new song called Spider Bites the Dust. It was literally another one bites the dust, but with spider replacing every instance of another one. Spider bites the dust. Boom, boom. Spider bites the dust, and spider gone, spider gone, spider bites the dust. It completely breaks the rhythm of the song. Yeah, everyone hated it. Last night I dreamt that Lil Nas X had a lesser-known song called Babyface, and it was literally just rodeos, but every word was Babyface. Had a dream Kanye released a single called Candy Boy. This was the cover. Candy Boy. The only lyric in the song was Candy Boy. Said over and over, this is definitely in the realm of possibility. Dozed off and dreamt about Bowie's Starman, but the lyric was something like, there's a sardine swimming through the brine. I dreamt I went to see Idols and they played a new song with the lyrics, to be a real man, be nice to your gran. I dreamt of a real big fish song called Beer in My Ass. Had a dream that T Swift released a new song and there was a line that went, I'm as happy as a bisexual kangaroo. And everybody was in awe, debating what it could possibly mean. This exact gift, text and music appeared at the end of a recent dream. Be me when SCP-987 shows up. Song? I made it. Well, I dreamt it. This is a masterpiece and I cannot explain why. Oh God, I played the video and now the audio won't stop. Last night I dreamt I wrote a 2007 ringtone rap song called Jerk My Swag. I just fell asleep for 20 seconds and dreamt I released a song called We Fucked in October. I had a dream I was in an all-girl rock band, and the only thing I can remember is that our breakout hit was called Douchebag Mike. I don't even know any douchebags named Mike. Last night I dreamt I wrote a song called Will You Love Me When I'm Stinky? Dreamed I get tired of a country song called Go, digging your own grave. All we gotta eat is plain beans in this trailer full of grapefruit. Hold me as a day as you choose. Take my vagina, believe me, and I gave it. Woke up laughing because I dreamt of a Bruce Springsteen song. I dreamed that Limp Bizkit had a secret song called I Like Water, and I was very upset to find out it wasn't real. I dreamed once where Lizzo dropped a new song called and it was like really scary and evil, and people would just cower in fear when they'd listen to it. I dreamt that Olivia Rodrigo had a song, and it was just called Meat. What's the funniest lyrics you've heard or sung in a dream? Mine was in like a choir kind of way. This guy was standing on a tower rapping. You could fit the whole States, real facts, and if you took the United States in the United States and put it in space, that would be great. Mine was an altered version of Hip to Be Square, where they instead said, "Bound, it's cool to be good." I dreamt that there was a band called Lewis, Huey and the Newts, and that Huey Lewis and the News was merely a reference name to that. You like Lewis, Huey and the Newts?
They're okay.
I dreamt I got to meet Little Mix, but it turned out to be a bad tribute band called Little Miss. Dreamt I was in a Spinal Tap tribute band called Spermal Turf. Dreamt I was in a Blur cover band called Black Pirate. Dreamt I was going to an exclusive Marilyn Manson concert, and it ended up being a cover band called Marilyn Monsoon. I dreamt that my friends and me started a band called Marilyn Manson. We did kids' pop covers of heavy metal songs. Our signature, Let the Body Hit the Floor. I don't normally remember my dreams, but last night I dreamt I was in the land of chocolate and a band were playing called Nutella. Dreamt I was dating the singer of a band called Huntsmansaw. So I googled the name when I woke up and no such band exists. How did my brain come up with Huntsmansaw? There's such an untapped market for dream bands. I once dreamt I assembled a fairly generic modern punk band called Plague Squid. Dreamt up band names. Yeah, we'll look at one or two of these. I dreamt last night that I was in an electro thrash metal band called 5 Second Cheeseburger. Dreamt I was in a space rock band called Hot Mollusk last night. Last night I dreamt I was in a Midwest emo band Good Pumpkin. I dreamt I was going to see a psychedelic band called the Japanese James Joyce Experience. Last night I dreamt I went to a concert for a free improvisation band called Bobby and the Twitchy Eyelids. Unironically goes hard. Dreamed I was watching a jam band performing in the park called the Manic Midwives. Was there a band called Smash Bastards, or have I literally just dreamt them up? I had a dream that this band made a song that got popular. For more context in comments. The band Shitstorm Shitlockers, and they made a song about shitting the public soap for some reason, and it got popular. I dreamt last night that I was the front man for a band called Frozen Sugar Sugar. I dreamt I was in a band called Kadonkadonk, and we released an album called Honkadonkadonk, and this is what the album cover looks like. Kadonkadonk, Kadonkadonk. Dreamt I was in a band called Josh and his unwashed ass. Bedraggled Majesty, the Curling Stones, fish-flavoured bread, Michael and the Seawers. Thanks everyone for coming out. You guys have been the best. We've been Ocean Sausage Chapel, the Family Meow, Thanks Skanks, my friends dumb new band, the Pitbulls of Instagram, Bitch 182, Leather Toddlers. Last night I dreamt I was in a band called Outback Back. My conservative niece, 100 eggs. Diaper, Sanity Lemon, ladies and gentlemen, the Kicking Pine Cone, Corn Syrup, Alaska, Hey Siri, shut up. The Styrofoam, Sweet Format, KFC Gym. These pants have no pockets. The Go Places, Do Things Kids. Ariel and the Shellcats and the really big So last night I dreamt of a band called 1,000-Layer Stress Cake. Someone described their music as being like swallowing coffee drops dripping from a rusty nail outside of a factory. Yeah, it's not my type of music really. I prefer the stuff that goes like this. Hey, let's look at some more song names. Dreamt I'd written a song called Plastic Dog that was so depressing it instantly incapacitated anyone who heard it. The government were trying to steal it from me to use as a weapon against protesters. I had a dream that I opened a fridge. It wasn't even my fucking fridge, and it was full of Hershey's chocolate syrup. And then in surround sound, chocolate syrup. Chocolate syrup. Just remember the last night. Cause I'm PNG. One time I dreamed up a song that was so goofy and over the top somber. The lyrics were like, born again into darkness, born again into pain. Born, dozed off briefly, dreamed 3 sailors were singing a song called a very, very, very long eel. The main lyrics were, and the bones went down, all the bones went down, all the bones went down, to the bottom of the sea. This meme was inspired by a song, Thanks for Nothing. With a melody that, I realised on waking, infringed on Novocaine for the song. All I remember of the song is, thanks for nothing, goes the soul, goes the soul, goes the soul. Dreamed that My Chemical Romance didn't cover a boy. Say 1 year, 1 minute folk rock song about a dinosaur. Dinosaur. The song sounded quite like Big Eye. You know, she had a teeny tiny small prehistoric cowboy hat. The second chorus was, as it seems to me now, a year-long listing of all existing and non-existent adjectives in all existing and non-existent languages. The song abruptly ends. Set cover was then added to Guitar Hero, causing a worldwide panic. Where Eminem had a new song, and this was one of the lyrics. Was God there when you microwaved your hamster? I had a dream that Weezer changed their name to Girl and made an album with Eminem. Oh my god, you Girl album. I had a dream that this band existed. The Weezer. Oh, I just like Eleanor Rigby. No, it wasn't a crossover of Weezer and the Beatles. It was its own thing, and it became the most popular band of 2025. Charlie XCX had a new album coming out, and the first big single was called School Days. As a dream, Gorillaz released a new album called Ye. There were two songs. One was just 2D and Lego Yoga screaming for 6 minutes, and the other was a Kids with Guns sequel called Smurfs on Drugs. I had a dream where I was in a band and we released this album, Psychoactive. Will would love this album. What happened to Will? Amigo. I had a dream where everyone decided that 240 is funnier than 420, and there was this popular song that was literally just someone saying 240 a bunch of times with disco beats in the background. 240. The entire dream was just a song playing with the beat, and the only thing I could see was this. 240 is just people smoking weed backwards. No, it's meanwhile deleted, dreamt basically Chris tap dancing while Stewie reads out shorty head of apple bottom jeans with the fur. The YouTube kids had a dream. I had a dream where, in perfect clarity, Mario read, I'm in love, I'm not finishing you. Dreamt last night that Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad sang a song about him escaping from war called Goodbye, Mr. Wild. Then he gave me his car, which later turned into a moped. Lovely stuff. Well, we're almost done. I'm sorry there's been no skull emojis in this video. Oh wait, what's this? Finally though, examples of the opposite happening. One time I wrote a song that came to me in a dream and I literally thought, this is going to be my ticket to fame. Turns out, shorty like a melody in my head, but not original lyrics. I don't understand. I thought I wrote this song, and I remember I went to my friend and told her, and she busted out laughing like, oh my god. No, this literally happened to me in 7th grade. I made this bum-ass beat in digital music class I was super proud of, but then I realised last month it was just Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado. Not you realising only last month, loudly crying face emoji. How long's it been since you were into the 7th grade? Huh? Well, no. 6 years. What is the worst way you ruined an intimate moment? A girl I was crushing on in high school who was extremely flirty with me. One day she asked, Slick guy, that's our poster, Slick guy, do you have a girlfriend? I didn't want to come across as a noob, so hoping to look cool and impress her, I flatly lied. Yes. In the subsequent months I realised I should ask me that to check if I was single. No way. I refuse to believe anyone can be this oblivious. That's just a new level of incompetence, mate. Welcome to Reddit. I thought I had the wrong name. Twice. Not the same wrong name, but two different wrong names. I was going on a first date with a guy who was a corporate lawyer, and he mentioned he might be coming straight from work, had to excuse his douchey lawyer clothes. And yet when he arrived, he was wearing a really awful skinny maroon wool suit, a paisley printed shirt, and pointed crocodile shoes. Without even thinking, I said, wow, you weren't kidding, you do look douchey. And he said, I made it home to change. Guys, cheese is amazing. Pointing with fork, the triangular thing I just ate. That's butter. Me order a small snack for our coffee, and as it's arriving, he pulls out his Nokia phone, trying to make a light-hearted joke. I say, man, that's got to be the oldest phone I've seen in a while. I really dug it in. Well, turns out it's not a Nokia, it was his insulin pump. A friend of mine works in a lab testing blood for AIDS and working on treatments. He's super shy and awkward, and he went on a blind date, and the first thing he could think to say was, do you like HIV? We spent most of the day going shopping for clothes. Another date she had later that week, he just kept making a weird amount of jokes about tapeworms while we were eating sushi. Asked me the worst crime I'd commit if I'd get away with it. I said I'd steal a few million from a bank. They said they'd Dharma someone. Hello, FBI tip line. He was nearly silent during the entire date and then started on a 15-minute rant about the ancient brothels of Pompeii, going into far too much detail about the goings-on in them than is appropriate discussion for a first date, and the whole time he had melted vanilla ice cream on his chin. Went on a dinner date with a guy who didn't say one single word except for ordering. He also busted out fingernail clippers and cut his nails at the table. I still wonder if I was on a hidden camera show. Oh yeah, I saw that. Silent clipper demonstrations on MTV Film. Similarly, from mediocrity is enough, met up for a coffee after having quite a nice chat over Tinder for a few days. He sits down and says, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you," then continues to pull out his laptop and sit there in complete silence for the next hour. Are you sure it's the same guy? Because it seems like you just sat down with some guy at a coffee shop. Oh, I'm seriously considering that this is the actual story. Once, on a date with a girl I met at a party a couple days before, I forgot who I was meeting. I arrived early and thought she was just some girl. It's not me, so I totally blew her off. We had dinner and all was going well. Wandering down the dark sidewalk, engaged in conversation. When she walked straight into a signpost that neither of us noticed, I let out one nervous laugh before I could stop it, and she accused me of engineering the event for my amusement. He made me watch his homemade rap videos and tried to like his own FB page on my phone. I had to go to the bathroom after he was finished, and apparently he thought my need to smell his shit was my main motivation for the trip. You just had to go smell it, didn't you? I was dating a girl called Teresa, Terra for short. One day I said to her, "You know, Terra means monster in Greek." Yeah, my grandma died recently. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How'd she die? She left her nursing home in her scooter and got hit by a car while crossing the street. That's hilarious. I went on a single date with a woman, and I learned she had dated separately, coincidentally, both my brother and cousin. She told me at dinner, this was last night, that she has an imaginary elephant that she charges her neighbours to see, and that aliens cause jet lag, and that I have the ghost of a fisherman following me around. Then Samuel does bursting into tears after I told him I didn't like a TV show count. I'm curious as to what TV show it was, praising it to me. Right, he saw my hedgehog. He didn't realise they were real. I do not miss dating. We were going to see a movie and walked by a poster for 500 days of summer. She turned to me and asked if that was an accurate amount of days in summer, because it doesn't sound like that's a large enough number. I responded by asking her, well, how many days are in a year? She said, we don't know until the year is over, and at that moment I realised I made a terrible mistake. I went on a date with a guy. After the movie, he barely talked to me, other than to play the SpongeBob SquarePants theme on a penny whistle. After he dropped me back off at my house, he sent me a ton of messages about how I was going to suck on your face. First ever date, we watched Ted 2. Halfway in, he showed me a picture of a dog tongue out with the text kiss above it, and when I turned to him, he gave me a peck on the lips and went on as if nothing happened. I was 16 and on a movie date. Went to do that move where you stretch your arms and put it back down around her shoulder. Instead, I just elbowed her in the face. I'm 17. We met online. Halfway through the movie, I work up the courage and put my arm around her. Oh yeah, cool guy now. I'm thinking. A few seconds later, she leans in for a kiss. So I leaned in for what I intended to be a kiss, but instead blew a raspberry on her lips and turned away nervously, hoping this wouldn't be stuck as the worst first kiss ever. It was.